Alright, Shalom. Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to go into, martial law, shutdowns, how these elites are going to, cut off the society. We go over this subject a lot, but, it's something that is, needs to be just, you got to keep hearing about it, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai Shai. I'm going to cover this, again, 2nd Esdras 15. There's a lot of meat here. There's a lot here that goes into these perilous times and impending dangers that are approaching. Because 2nd Esdras, it really on point. You want to talk about, on point? It's on point right here. It's really, it's on point. Exactly what we're about to go through. This is really at our doorstep, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, this is, regardless of what you're going through, let's say you're doing good, let's say you're doing bad, it's gonna affect all of us. Let's say right now you're having a good time. You're like, I'm having a good time. Everything's pretty good right now. All right, you're still gonna be affected by it. Those out there that are kind of bad right now, some people have good weeks, some people have bad weeks. The people right now, let's say if you're on your bad week, it's gonna affect you as well. Whether you're rich or poor, whether you're happy or sad, whether you believe or don't believe, it's going to affect us all. It's what you got to believe. The only difference is, are you covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai? Do you have that faith? 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 1, and we'll go on down quite a bit. We'll go down to maybe the 18th verse or somewhere around there. We'll see how it goes in the spirit. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's dive right into it. 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth. See, said the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, because the Lord really works with his prophets, and then because it's the spirit. Okay, it's the spirit that the prophets go off of, and then sometimes the prophets, they actually get visions, and then there's times too where the Lord will actually appear to them in dreams or visions, and actually speak to them, because the Lord is with his elect, but how much more his prophets that serve him, so that's why it's when a prophet, when a man of the Lord says he has a vision, he's not gonna bullshit you. Excuse my telling, and you really want to take heed of that, especially too when the prophets, even their children have visions, like Daniel Olives, his remember his child had a vision the other day about the Lord coming in those chariots. Man, that was heavy, that was very heavy, so when a true, sincere, teacher of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, says that he has a vision, you want to take heed, because that's nothing light. That's from the Lord. That's it's very heavy, because the prophets, they'll tell you, okay, well, it was kind of a dream, but I don't really think it was a vision. But they tell you, hey, I got a vision, it's different, because that's a clear message, a direct message, because the Lord communicates with the prophets like a conduit, just direct. Like you pick up a phone, like you call someone your cell phone. The Lord literally gives them a message, like boom. So it's wise to consider, to hear it. Prophecy, right, so that word prophecy, pro means before, tashay means to tell, because the prophets are simply warning you. You hear, sometimes the extra talk, about, forget the left-hand side, this, that, Edomites, but at the end of the day, they're just giving you a warning. But hey, we got to give the left hand side a hard time. We're the right hand side, just the way it is. Imagine the Super Bowl. Imagine the Super Bowl, and then the teams are not even going at it, not even tackling each other. Imagine they're in the middle of the field just drinking tea, just drinking coffee. You'd be like, hey, what the hell? Are you guys gonna play or not? That's the way. It's just the way it has to be, baby. You know, it's just the way it's got to be. It's the left hand versus the right hand side. It's just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, because right there, this is why we can't brag or boast. You know, because these are not our words. We didn't write this book. You know, we can't tell a story, you know, like this. So these are the Lord's words. So woe unto you that are, all, proud and, oh, look at me, I'm the king now, and, just because, you know these breakdowns, like, yeah, you're learning breakdowns. You didn't write this book. This is the thing. You didn't write this story. All right, and that's the thing. So those of you that are out there, like IOIC, IOS, UBK, and all of them, I don't really know their name exactly. All those dudes, they're just those false prophets. That's why the Lord's gonna deal with them. And I truly believe that dude Sakari, I believe that just me in the spirit, rolling in the spirit. I believe that IOIC, of course, the few members, I do believe that there's a few members of the elect in there, and the Lord's gonna get them out in due time. But I do believe that the Lord's gonna jack up IOIC himself. But Sakari, just me, it's just me. It's just what I'm kind of getting in the spirit. I think that Sakari, that the Lord's gonna hand him over to Esau. That he's gonna let Esau handle Sakari. Just the way it is, It's just me, just thinking out loud. That's all. It's just kind of what I'm reading in the spirit. But you never know. I mean, we're in time of judgment. Anything can happen. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. See that? Because that's why you got this Bible, these books. Before there used to be in scrolls, because they're faithful and true. Because it's the truth. Remember, facts. It's not not to rub it in nobody's face and like, oh yeah, we got the truth. No, this is the truth, you guys. Either you want help or not. You're looking at millions of people who are about to be deleted. And you don't give a shit. You're just laughing. So that's the thing. We're not. And we can't speak for everybody because, yeah, you got those false Israelite groups who are out there who are bragging like, who are like that. But that's not the true teachers are going to be humble and sincere because we understand, we understand what it is and we fear the Lord. Because real life is real life. Shit, if you can't eat, if you can't go nowhere, I mean, you're hurting. If you fall down and break your leg, that shit hurts. So how much more death, pestilence, war, guillotines? You imagine? Because we understand that we're not out here all simple and just like, oh, nah. So that's why those people are high-minded. They're gonna learn pain. That's why pain is the greatest teacher because the Lord is gonna teach them. Because war brings reality. That shit hurts. Imagine you get shot but you survive. Someone chomps off your arm and you're still alive. You telling me that's not gonna hurt? Even if you get a splinter, that goes in pretty deep, that shit still hurts. Even a little splinter. Or how many of you guys got your nails like, you guys kind of, flip back your nail a little bit. That shit hurts. Real pain hurts. You know what I'm saying? So how much, those of you that wake up in a concentration camp or something like that, we want to see you, Nate and Sakari acting all proud in that day when Esau is torturing the shit out of you. And that's what you get because, Sakari, you blaspheme the apostles, and you're over here, asking Volcat for a hug. I knew you were a simp. I knew you was a simp when Sakari showed up to to the Los Angeles camp in Inglewood, GMS, small sanctuary. Man, I knew that dude was a simp just by his character, And then I heard the other day that he got sad and he asked Volcat, oh, you couldn't give me a hug. He asked Volcat for a hug. What kind of shit is that? Vocab's a straight perpetrator. He's an agent he's an Edomite. His whole thing is to slander us. And now what you're hearing links that they might want to link us in with terrorists and all that crap. See, but that's just the way it is. I mean, the Lord already said they're gonna persecute us. I mean, it's just the way it is. But he's a straight enemy. His whole thing is about slandering us. and you're over there wanting to get a hug from them. That's to show you that these motherfuckers, excuse my Italian, are so phony. You know, but I knew that dude was like that. You know, you can tell because he's all about the clout. You know, but you know he's gonna go out in pain because you know, yeah, he can have right now all his fans and you know fake money and you know fake women and all that. Okay, you know he has the clout and all that. You know he's not even supposed to be teaching with a hat on. That's blasphemy. He's disrespecting Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, but wait till shit's cut down. You know, because all that may be all right now, but wait till shit hits the fan. You know, wait till martial law happens. Wait till these sleeper cells start rolling. The UN troops, the left-hand side, shit, they got robots, technology like a motherfucker. Excuse my Italian, you know? And we're gonna see how proud these dudes are that day, you know, because they're just all about the cloud and internet, you know, like internet dudes. And it's like, man, the way they're gonna go out, imagine how painful, because they're already soft as it is. And then, you know, they don't have the Lord on their side or Esau. Esau don't give a shit about them. You kidding me? You know, so they're totally screwed. They're totally screwed. And the Lord's even more upset with them because let's say like a regular nigga, you know, a regular nigga in the street, you know, who's just a degenerate, you know, just like, you know, a thug, whatever, you know, just a gremlin in the street. That dude's gonna go out more peaceful than Sakari and them because you know the scripts. And the thing is, you're misleading the sheep. So you're gonna get beaten with much more stripes because you know the name, you know. See, and a lot of you guys out there are playing around with that, you know, that chip, the MOTB. Hey man, you gotta tell the people what it is. But that's just to show you that you sold out because you're not telling people that the Lord's name is Yahushai, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and then too, you know, you're playing around with that, and you guys too in IUIC. You know, that's hey man, I mean, our people, I mean, that's life and death right there. You know, that's nothing. You don't play around with that at all. You know, that's like the Lord's name right there. You don't play. That's a heavy prophecy. You don't even. You know, I mean, that's just to show you. You know, you're a complete sellout. You know, you're literally getting paid to kill people. That's what you're doing. You're literally getting paid to push people off a cliff and say, yeah, fuck it, well, whatever. You know, I'm about. You know, I'm getting views. I'm getting paid. Fuck it. You know, I'm doing me. Well, we're gonna see what happens to you. You know, because that's very, you're misleading, you know, the Israelites. But, you know, there must be, you know, false prophets out there, but that's what you're doing. That's a very, very heavy thing when you misguide the sheep. That you playing around with that chip, you know, because that's a very serious ordeal. You know, and people believe you. You know, when these false preachers say something, you know, these congregations, they believe them. So, you know, like, they're just misguiding the sheep. So they're going to get beaten with much more stripes. Like that. Remember that guy, T.D. Jakes? Man, he got a stroke right on the stage, right in front of his congregation. The Lord's telling you, the Lord's telling us that, yeah, he's not playing around with these false preachers, you know? No, the Lord's really going to deal with you guys. You guys are really going to go out painfully because you're worse than somebody on the streets who's just, you know, like just a gremlin, a degenerate, because they didn't know, you know, they're just out there just being, you know, running amok, acting a fool. But those of you that know, I mean, you're misguiding the sheep, all right, because none of us are perfect. Let's say, all right, you can't keep the law, statutes, commandments perfect. Shit, none of us can. But, you know, at least we give an effort. But you, false prophets, you're misguiding the sheep. You're lying to them, you know? You're telling them to go left when they're supposed to go right. You imagine them? You're literally telling them, yeah, go this way where it leads off a cliff and getting paid to do it. Can you imagine your judgment? You imagine what the angels are right there like, all right, you know, we got this dude. You imagine how bad that is? Just think about that for a sec, you guys. You know, just really take that in for a second. How bad that is. You imagine, you know, like you're really lying to families. You know, their life's really in your hands and you're telling them to go the other way. That other way leads to death. And you're just okay with that? Like, yeah, just because you want clout. Just because you want to fatten up your pockets, you're going to destroy, you know, I don't even know how many followers you got, you know, thousands of Israelites' lives, men, women, and children. See that? Just because, for your clout. Just because you want, you know, a taste of money. You imagine what the Lord's going to do to you. It's unthinkable. 2 Esdras chapter 15, verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So incredulity, it's a little big word, but we'll give you that breakdown. Incredulity means non-belief. So those who don't believe. So don't worry about when you're out there, teaching, or those of you that are coming into the faith, you're new into this thing. Don't worry about when people, because listen, I'm gonna give you a quick testimony. When you first come into this thing, you're happy. Like what? You find out, man, I'm an Israelite. If you're a man or woman, hey, shout out to the sisters out there. Hey, it's much love to you guys. Hey, come on, because you're very important. Oh yeah, absolutely. To the righteous sisters out there. Oh, absolutely. So just remember that when you first come into this thing, you're excited, because you just came out of the world, you think that that people are gonna have the same reaction like like, oh yeah, I'm an Israelite. You think that, oh yeah, let's just talk to them, let's just tell them, let me just tell my family members, let me just tell my coworkers and all that. Hey, you gotta slow down because not everyone's ready to receive it, facts. And it's just something that you're gonna learn along the way, because when you learn it, you just think like, oh yeah, that's us. But the Lord hasn't woken up everybody, and it's just the way it is. It's something that you have to learn, In fact, it doesn't mean for us to go around and treat our family members like crap, not at all. We still treat them with respect, manners, but just know that not everyone in your family member is not gonna wake up. The Lord says maybe only 2 of a family. That's it. It's just the time that we're in. If there's more, you're very lucky, but that's like the average. So it's just so you know, this is what the Lord is telling us, and don't look at me, hey, I didn't create you guys. This is not my program. It's just what we learn along the way, you see, and that's just the way it's gonna be. That speak against thee. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 4. Check this out. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Right, so that's plain. Do we have to break that down? So those who don't have faith, they're not going to make it. It's plain. Verse 5. Behold, said the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, I will bring plague. See, the Lord saying, I'm bringing this. Because the Lord's going to have, yes, the left-hand side, these elites, bring the ruckus, but the Lord's bringing it too. And remember, the Lord controls the left-hand side. So the Lord's bringing it from both sides, from the left-hand side and with the angels and with the 144,000, and a lot more. So there's going to be just nothing but judgment and, a lot of stuff happening out here. I will bring plagues upon the world. So who's bringing it? The Lord's bringing it. The sword, meaning wars. That's why you're seeing the stuff happening. You're seeing people really bugging out that Kamala lost. Because people really are divided. And they really are ready to fight. Because it really is American versus American. Some people don't take it that bad, but there are people who are like, they're ready to go to fight. They're ready to shoot their rifles over what side, And then you got sleeper cells here. It's a lot, it's a lot. Famine, okay, that's big right there. Famine. Remember, that's we've been speaking on that a lot lately. That's gonna happen. I'm thinking next year, in the spirit, because that's how close we are. This is they can bring it. I don't know how. I'm not sure, but just know that that's coming. Famine is a major prophecy. Look at that, death, because right here the Lord's saying He's bringing it. So that's how He's gonna allow these elites to bring it, because they're orchestrating a global famine. But why do you think the angels are not intervening? Like, no, hey, cut that off, because they're allowing it. They are the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side. This is why they're doing what they're doing. All right, they have permission from the Lord on the left-hand side. This is why you gotta understand. They're gonna bring the ruckus. They're gonna bring the ruckus. The soul of the Lord. So can you imagine? It's double dose. It's gonna be crazy out here. The sword, famine. So those are 2 major things. All right, the Lord's saying, I will bring plagues upon the world. What's the 2 major things? The sword, meaning war, and famine. So that's the 2 things you gotta watch out for. Wars, I mean, that's already given, because there's no food, none of that. People are gonna fight against each other. And famine, meaning why? Because they're gonna cut off your food supply. Those are the 2 main things, and of course death, because death, it goes hand in hand. It's just the way it is, I mean, death, come on, it's gonna go with the famine, and of course wars. You're gonna have death and destruction. Yeah, buildings, places being, destroyed. It's just the way it is. But what are the two main ones? Sword means, wars and famine. So those are the main things. I mean, you have World War III. Come on, that's the whole world. That's war right there. Civil war, race wars, and famine. Famine's a major one. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I. So the Lord said, that's it, that's it. I had enough. It's go time. So the Lord's saying, that's it. I told you already, to stop doing it. I already told, I sent the prophets to tell you, and you still think I'm playing? The Lord's like, all right, that's it, I'm gonna melt these clowns. The Lord ain't playing. Like, how many of you guys have like strict parents, and they ain't playing around, You have like a strict father, a strict mother, they ain't playing. It's like, boy, I told you to clean that room, or girl, I told you to clean that room. When I come home, if that room ain't clean, that's your behind, This is the Lord. The Lord's like, hey, that's it. I told you already, like, I'm coming. This is a very serious ordeal. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me. Yeah, when they do like baby sacrifices and stuff like that, when people get sacrificed, child trafficking, yeah, they all cry to the Lord. Like, yeah, damn, it's these devils. And the souls of the just complain continually. See, that's what, imagine all the souls. Just imagine how many people go missing a year. How many children get kidnapped a year. They get tortured. They get raped and all that. It's a whole lot of child trafficking, all that. But once they take them out, they're right there because they go right to the Lord. When you pass away, you go straight to the Lord. And these children are telling, the Lord, hey, it's these it's these people, because the heathens are involved in that too. You got the black market or, whatever. I don't know too much about that. I never really went too deep into that. I never really did a lot of research on that. But I just heard, you got something called black market, something like that, that the heathens are involved too, That's all I know. I just know that, and I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg. I know they do a lot more, but that's the wicked, I just pretty much know like what I need to know. I don't go, off deep into their business because I know the Lord and the angels are going to take care of them. It's something that's very real. It's very real, And therefore said the Lord, I will surely avenge them. See, so the Lord's saying the Lord's about to bring it, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. 2 Esdras chapter 15 verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. See that? Because those of you that are not paying attention, you're literally about to be slaughtered. You ever seen an animal was slaughtered? That's you're brutally gonna get taken out in a painful way. War's not pretty. Have you ever seen somebody get in a street fight? That can get brutal. They can break their teeth, break their arms. People can get choked out. People can get, excuse my Italian, people can get knocked the fuck out. So how much more when people are fighting for their lives? How much more when you have assassins out here, super soldiers, robots, androids, military's going at it. Come on, they're trained to kill, so it's gonna be a lot, it's gonna be a lot out here, because just look at how much like a street fight that can get crazy, someone can get stabbed, and it can get pretty brutal. How much more when it's war and people are trying to fight? It's either you or him because they have to feed their family. A fight till death, that's way different. Because they're fighting for death, for supplies and to survive. That's a whole different fight right there. They're not just fighting because, oh yeah, oh fucker, you cut me off, fucker, fuck you, no, f you, No, this is, that's different. This is for survival. People are gonna be having, of course, people are gonna have weapons and everything, because when it breaks out, maybe the first couple hours people are not gonna have weapons, but after that, that's it. Everyone's gonna have a weapon, even grandma, and that's facts. Everybody, because it's gonna be that crazy out here. It's gonna be that crazy where everyone's gonna have something, at least a baseball bat, screwdriver, something, because it's gonna be that bad out here. Because once people start to see actual people, put people down in front of them, because you're gonna learn war. That's one thing that America hasn't seen. Okay, not talking about all Americans, because yeah, you have some American badasses out here. Okay, are there some Americans that know how to fight? Fuck yeah. Okay, but there's a lot of people who don't, who never seen death. Okay, you might see, a body here and there, but you never seen real bloodshed. Like, these third world countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, they're constantly at war. They're constantly seeing people getting blown to smithereens, guts out, hanging out. Right here you have, you have gangs and stuff like that, mafias, tribes, but they usually take care of stuff like on the low. They usually do stuff like very rarely where you take a shootout. That was kind of like more back in the days. But you still might see that here and there, little shootouts. But, like most killings, they usually like take people like behind the building and stuff or wherever underground. You don't really see stuff like that. Like just out in the open, like these third world countries where there's actual war and tanks, like in the Middle East, where they're seeing their family members just get blown to smithereens. See that? America's about to see that. Just look around. I mean, because Chicago, yeah, it's very bad there. You have a lot of gangs and stuff like that, but you don't really have like military with tanks, stuff like that, and that's what America is about to witness. People getting blown up, people getting hacked to death right in front of that. Imagine seeing somebody, fight to death right in front of them, a family member, trying to defend his son or his daughter, them dying because they're trying to fight for life. And that one person, killed them all right in front of you, and you have to stay quiet and just witness that? Are you telling me that person, after he sees that, they're not going to want to pick up at least an iron bar or something when they go to the next town and try to survive? Hell yeah. Because they're going to say, damn, that was crazy, So you guys are going to learn war. The Lord's going to learn you. War is not pretty. You don't have to be a soldier to learn a war. Okay? Soldiers learn how to fight, but you're going to learn war. You're going to learn what it is, all right, when people actually kill each other. It's very brutal. It ain't nothing pretty like, oh, excuse me, sir, can I take your life? No, it's very brutal. It hurts. This is what the Lord is telling you. It ain't no just, all right, it's war, you guys, and, let's just laugh. No, this is very, very serious. It's very serious. You're going to learn, because once you see people, that are hacked to death, shot in front of you, who fought, to death right in front of you. I mean, come on. You're not going to be the same no more. You turn into survival mode. You're going to be hiding, in bushes, wherever. You're going to try to be as stealth as possible. And everybody's going to end up grabbing a weapon. Maybe the first couple of hours when things shut down, yeah, people are going to want to know, okay, what's going on. But after that, after you start seeing lives and people getting blown up and people getting stabbed to death right in front of them, screams of, women getting raped and all that, everyone's going to eventually have a weapon. Everybody. It's going to be that bad. Unless, of course, you're like a toddler. But really, it's that bad, You go into survival mode. It's a whole different ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Second Esdras, this is why the Lord is telling you to repent. Don't be a dummy, because it's only going to affect you if you're being stupid. See, this is why the prophets are out there. It's not just to, harass you and, bother your day. It's to tell you over and over, hey, it's coming. Yo, it's coming. We don't give a shit what you say us or label us. Are we perfect? No. Do we sin? Yeah, we sin, but, we try not to. But, hey, at least we're honest about it, We're not out here. We don't think we're the shiznit. We're out here just to warn you. Facts. Because we have to live this, we have to live this rat race just like everybody else. We have to work. We have to pay bills. We got to take care of our family. We got to do everything. Sit in traffic, and teach you the word at the same time. And, come on, be cool to others. It's just the way it is. 2 Esdras chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. 2 Esdras chapter 15, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt, listen up, with plagues as before. So, remember how the Lord destroyed ancient Egypt? If you guys haven't heard about it, I really recommend go into that history. Alright, the Lord destroyed Egypt, with heavy plagues. There was that blackness plague, that darkness. It was, check this out, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not like, okay, let's say right now, like in the city, let's say right now, like wherever you're at, let's say like you're in the parking lot right now, you're at your home, wherever you're listening to this. Okay, let's say all the cities are out, it's going to be dark out here, but the Lord brought like a blackness, like a darkness. So check this out. It was so dark, because it's a plague. It's a literal plague. So not only are all the lights gonna be off, but the Lord literally brought a darkness upon Egypt. So dark. Like when you guys walk like in a dark tunnel or something like that, or like in a haunted maze. I know it's a little bugged out, but like around Halloween time, you guys experience that. When you're younger, or whatever. Or something, whatever. Let's say like, one time you're in a house or the lights went out, you're like, you can barely see, you weren't able to see somebody, like that's 15 feet in front of you. Unless they had like a cell phone or you had a crack of a window with the moon kind of giving you a little bit of light, or from the neighbor's house. But other than that, it's dark. Like go into your garage. If those of you that don't have like a door, like a window in your garage door, and shut the lights off, it's going to be pitch black. Okay, it's darker than that. Let's say you have a basement and you go into your basement, shut the lights off. It's darker than that because you can at least light a candle and put your phone in front of you or light a match and you can see the fire and you can at least guide your way in that basement or whatever in your house, your garage, right? This darkness was so dark, they wouldn't even be able to see the fire right in front of their face. Because it was like a darkness. It was a plague, like a thick darkness. The Lord's gonna bring that here too. You imagine how scary that's gonna be. People couldn't even see. It wasn't like He made the people go blind. There was like a literal darkness. Like fog in the morning when it's foggy, you have that overcast. It was like that. It was like a literal darkness and it was so dark and thick that you couldn't even see. A candlelight if it was right in front of your face. It was that dark. Imagine the Lord had demons and apparitions running around. And in this time too, sometimes, a lot of times, people have, experiences, with spirits and all that stuff like that. But demons and these apparitions, they're actually going to get the green light to attack people. So not only are demons going to be out here walking in packs, they're actually going to be tearing people up. Yeah, throwing you across the room and all that. Remember like that movie Exorcist and stuff like that? You're actually going to see real demons. All hopping in people because they can do that. They can hop in you, cause you to kill yourself, jump, or to kill somebody else. It's about to get gruesome out here. Demons have a lot of power. You gotta understand that. The Lord created the demons. They can, or they can just attack you. Imagine how hard it is to fight someone who knows how to fight, a trained soldier. Imagine trying to fight a demon. You're gonna get your ass kicked. Imagine that. And that's what's coming. It's not just civil war. Nah, the Lord's going to bring His stuff to the table. The Lord's like, I'm going to bring the angels. I'm going to bring the death angels. I'm going to bring the demons. Imagine. It's going to get very bad out here. Remember like that movie, A Quiet Place, Day One? Much more horrible than that. But that's just a little example. Just imagine some stuff like that, It'd be freaking crazy. Trying to, shoot something like that. So imagine stuff like that all out here, And if you're not on the Lord's good side, you're just gonna have to roll with the punches. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. Right, because the Lord's gonna who is the hand of Yahweh Shai, and with a stretched out arm. Yeah, because the angels. Okay, the angels are here to protect you guys. They're really out here. That's what you gotta understand. And smite Egypt with plagues as before. Yeah, remember the locusts turned the water into blood. Remember that? That's really gonna happen. Where if these elites, I'm sure they're gonna do it. They're gonna contaminate the water. But if they don't do it, the Lord's gonna do it. So like, let's say you do have like a little pond or whatever, let's say you have like saltwater pool in your backyard. Like, oh, we got water, we're cool. The Lord will plague that crap. Where you won't even be able to drink it. This is what you have to understand. This is what you have to understand. The Lord's gonna. So not only are these elites gonna contaminate and plague stuff, but the Lord's gonna plague stuff. So there's no escape. It's gonna be very, very bad. Very bad. It ain't no just. It ain't no little thing. Like, oh, it's gonna be just. Honey, don't worry, we'll be all right. We're gonna get through it. Listen. If you don't repent, you're out of there. And who knows? There's a lot of ways. Remember that show? You guys ever seen that show, 1,000 Ways to Die? Man, that was crazy stuff. Remember? And that's what happened according to man. So how much more when the angels and the Lord are out here? When the Lord brings judgments and harsh judgments, scary judgments. It's unthinkable. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. So yeah, talking about America, because the Lord's going to bring the judgments. They that till the ground shall mourn. Right, because you're not going to have Issachar, the north out there, the Israelites out there picking your fruits and vegetables. You're not going to have the American farmer out there, taking care of the cows and all that. Everyone's going to be hiding or just, with their guns ready, fighting each other for survival. It's going to be that bad. You're going to have no farmers out here, with the tractors, protecting your farms and, growing crops. No, people are going to be inside their houses. Even the firemen, police officers. And remember, there's going to be no EMS. You can't just call the cops, And they do a great service. Not talking down on them at all. I mean, they save people's lives. Of course, you do have good cop, bad cop. But, I mean, hey, they have a risky job, because they get shot at. They do a lot of stuff. But they're not even going to go to work. Why not? Okay, number one, the FRNs are going to crash. So no one's going to get paid. So why are people going to go to work? Number two, it's going to get so bad that they're going to have to be home to protect themselves and their families. It's going to be that bad, ladies and gentlemen. That bad. I mean, it's really going to be that bad, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you might have some cops that might team up, let's just go out there and try to fight. I mean, you never know, because you might, you have a lot of people prepping, so you never know. You're going to have a lot of teams out there. It's going to get that real, ladies and gentlemen, where people are going to have to team up. Remember, like the Purge? Stuff like that, you're going to have to team up because there's grade A predators out there. People who know how to hunt. There's people who are actually waiting for the shutdown for that. Actually, remember like that movie, The Purge? Remember the militias, the so-called white man? What were they doing? They were torturing the shit out of Jake. Remember, they were going around for fun. Remember with machine guns and those big old trucks? That's Esau. Esau's waiting for it. Esau's not like, oh, damn, I hope it don't. Esau's licking his chops. He can't wait. He's like, hell yeah. He's going to go hunting. Are you kidding me? That puts a smile on Esau's face. Esau's not going to be all like, damn, this is a bummer. No, Esau's like, shit, are you kidding me? He's like a kid at a candy store. He's like a kid at a carnival. He can't wait. This is what you gotta understand. The so-called white man can shoot, and he can't wait for it. Are you kidding me? So they're gonna be out there too, laying people down, laying people flat, deleting them. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting of hail and with the fearful consolation. Yeah, because those people who do have crops, they're all gonna all like the vegetables and fruit, because eventually, if you don't have no one to pick them, they're gonna go bad. They're gonna go bad. They're gonna get spoiled, rotten. But also because the plagues. Remember, the Lord's gonna bring plagues. It's gonna get very cold. The Lord might have crazy storms. Major hail. It's going to get bad out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just going to be like a night like right now. Okay, it's not going to be like a regular day. Like you wake up, oh, it's a nice day, honey. Oh, it's a nice night, huh? You can see the stars. No, it's going to be bad out here because the Lord's bringing harsh judgments. Very, we're talking bad. Who knows what the Lord got in store? 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, because Esdras is saying woe, meaning destruction. So, because Esdras is seeing all this, imagine Esdras saw it and he's like, damn. So he's saying woe into the world, meaning, caution, meaning, warning, like, dang, like, this is crazy. So that's why Esdras said woe into the world. See, because it wasn't just America, wasn't just Europe, wasn't just Africa, wasn't just Australia, the world, ladies and gentlemen. Because remember, too, it's the Lord judging the world. But also, these elites want to bring what? Do they want to bring a new Australia order? A new China order? Or is it a new world order? Because they're going to bring chaos throughout the whole world. It's just that America is going to be, that number one battleground. It's going to be very bad here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be like a prison planet. It's going to be very bad here. Very bad. Because you got all kinds of teams here at the same time. From everybody. From preppers, from little crews, little gangs, to mafias, to triads, to militaries, to militias. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. To robots, drones. I mean, you can go on and on, There's so many teams here, and you got militaries here. You got the Russians here. You got the Chinese here. You got the Iran here. Of course, you got America here because this is their land. You know, I mean, come on, you got everybody here at the same time. You know, the Arabs here. You know, you kidding me? They can't wait. You know, you got those terrorists that they'll blow themselves up. You know, you tell them that's crazy. You know, you got everybody here at the same time. So can you imagine? It's gonna be a total battle royale out here, and that's facts. Second Esdras. Let me see how we're doing on time. All right, that's cool. Second Esdras, chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. So it's coming. The sword is also a representation of the gun, war, military, whatever. It could be a guillotine. Just anything, any type of war. And one people shall stand up and fight against another. See? And swords in their hands, also meaning machete, guns, whatever. Why? Because of it's gonna be complete survival mode out here. Second Esdras 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. See that? Because people are gonna go house to house, because they're gonna have what you call militarized zones, martial law in effect, ladies and gentlemen, where they're gonna lock these places down. Because the FRNs crash, and who knows? I mean, whatever plagues that the elites bring or the Lord brings, it's gonna cause total chaos, mischief. So people, they're gonna have to put the cities on lockdowns. Because what's coming, it ain't like typical. Look what happened the first pandemic. How things were shut down because they had to get a control of things. Can you imagine when the Lord brings things, and then when the elites actually have the green light to bring the ruckus? Okay, that was a plague that was released. A pestilence. And that was just one little pestilence. And look at how bad that screwed up everything. Can you imagine when they actually have green light to actually start tearing people up and putting people on guillotines, and when it's actually time to go? Yeah, what's actually purge out here? The purge, forever purge out here. No food, no nothing. Everyone just going against each other, city against city, like that movie you guys seen in theater that came out a little while ago, Civil War. Imagine, So how much more then? Fuck yeah, the military is gonna shut this shit down. It's gonna be shut down. You have foreign military, so not only is America gonna have this place shut down, America is gonna have to fight against the Russians and Chinese here, and Iran. Arabs, there's a lot of people here, so America's not just gonna be like, all right, you guys, let's just, let's guide you, okay, don't cross this city and we're gonna get it back together. No, because they're gonna remember, America's gonna get invaded by the foreign troops. That's why America's called the Virgin Daughter of Babylon, because not only is there already sleeper cells here, remember like that movie Troy, the black horse is already inside the walls. It's very, very dangerous. Because you have millions of sleeper cells already here. And you got some people that are like whatever, but you got trained people that are here. Remember, the Russians, Chinese, and Iran, they're not going to bring their third string players to fight the champs. This is like the Super Bowl of wars. Okay, they want to bring down the US. You think they're going to try to bring the US? You guys are the champs. Okay, let's not play games. You guys are number one. You think these other nations are going to mess around and bring in their third string players out here? Hell no. They're going to bring in their first string soldiers, their first string special forces right here. So what you got to understand. Okay, they know that you're number one. You think they're just going to, let's just go play around with America. No, they know that, you guys will take them out. They know that, because no one country can just walk up to America or can invade America. America will stomp their goofy asses. But if they jump you, and have sleeper cells inside the walls, that's a different story. Okay, yes, America's still very strong, but you're divided against yourself. You got sleeper cells inside your walls, and you're gonna be invaded. Meanwhile, you're gonna have, remember, no food, no water going on at the same time, shutdowns. So it's a lot. It's a lot to comprehend, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you gotta understand. It's that's why Daniel said, Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. It's a time like never before. It's literally gonna be very bad out here. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. Let me start from the top. Second Esdras chapter 15 verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. Why? For your basic essentials, maybe medical supplies, food, water, shelter, whatever. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. meaning the politicians, the mayors, if the TV's still on, your news anchor, because they might say stay in your houses, but people say I can't. I gotta feed my family. I gotta go out there and get some food. Just the way it is. So a lot of people are not. They're saying, you know what, fuck, I can't listen to the politicians no more because I have to go outside. I ran out of food. So people are gonna say I can't stay home. My fucking children are dying. Sorry it has to be like that. We gotta give it to you raw, but it's gonna be like that. So people are gonna be like, no, we gotta take matters in our own hands. We gotta go. Just like Texas. Remember Texas a little while back, they were telling Washington D.C. to go get screwed. Remember, because they're like, all right, well, if no one's gonna help us, fuck it, we're gonna take matters in our own hands. See, because that's the way it is. Because when shit gets bad, when people are about to suffer or about to see their children, die of starvation or no supplies, people are gonna take matters in their own hands. That's what that means right there. And the course of their actions shall stand their power. Yep, because they're gonna go out there and get it how they live. They're gonna say fuck the government, and they're gonna go out there and do it because everything's gonna be shut down. So of course, if you have no food coming in or out, you gotta go. Those of you that are not prepped, you're gonna have no choice. You're gonna have to go out there and get it. But remember, you're gonna have grade A predators out there, drones out there, blowing people away. So it's gonna be very dangerous. See, right here, this is one of the main points. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 17. A man, or woman, wherever, teenager, shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's martial law, because these cities are going to be under militarized zones. Nobody in, nobody out. This is what you got to understand. See that's because let's say something happens, America gets hit with the EMP, a pocket nuke, whatever, there's a terrorist attack, whatever. You have to understand that you got to understand that you might not make it back to your house, and that's a very real possibility. If you don't have high military clearance, that's the one thing you got to understand between soldiers and officers. You can't talk to them. They have orders. Soldiers have orders. And it's gonna get so bad if you keep on asking them questions, they'll shoot you. Because it's going to be that bad out here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, they're not going to have time to keep on telling you, miss, I can't let you go. They're not going to have time to keep on telling you. If you keep on telling them, they literally will gun you down. That's why they have these draconian laws and legislation. Remember, to bring lethal force? Because imagine at a time like that, when even their own lives are threatened, so they're not going to hesitate to just gun your ass down. Facts. Unless you're lucky, and, you might know that person and they let you through. But that's, a slim chance. See, so this is what you have to really, really consider, because let's say you're at work. How many people work at least 20 miles from work, 20 miles from home? See, let's say they shut it down. Something happens. You can't even make it home. Then what? You're stuck in a city where you only have, let's say you only have $50 on you. And then, that's not really going to work because, these stores, they're going to be ransacked, Let's say, because money's not going to be no good. In that time of civil war and all that, it's all going to be about trade. All right, what do you have? All right, what do you have? All right, well, what do you have? All right, well, I'll give you some gloves. And remember, like that movie, The Book of Eli? That's how it's going to be. It's going to go back to the old school because the FRNs ain't going to be worth the fuck. Excuse my Italian. So you can give someone, here, I'll give you $200. What good is that $200 if the FRNs crashed? See that? It don't matter. It's going to go back to trade route. All right, well, what do you got? Oh, I got the sweater, man. Hey, what do you got? Give me those boots and I'll give you this bag of chips. Like, all right, it's going to be like that. It's going to go back to the old way. You see? Huh? It's going to go back to the old way because remember, these green pieces of paper, it's not going to do you no good. These banks are not going to be open. You're not going to be able to go to Ralph's or Vaughn's and, all right, let's just, let me get a Gatorade real quick. Let me go to 7-Eleven. They're not going to be open. This place is going to be shut down. It's going to be a complete war zone. So money and credit card, it's going to do no good. See? So 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of martial law. See that? So people might want to go into a city just to go wherever. I mean, let's say you have to go back to go visit your family, go back to your house, but you can't. See? And shall not be able. Why? Because they're going to have checkpoints, barricades, militarized zones, meaning nobody in, nobody out. It's just the way it's going to be. Because it's going to be that bad out here that they're going to have to have they're going to have to block certain cities off and towns off because, you imagine you have, people killing one another. They can't let people into that city, so they're gonna have, the militaries are gonna have to have their little safe zones and all that, because if you just have everyone just around each other, who are you gonna trust? You can't trust, you can't trust everybody, so they're gonna have to have certain places blocked off and push people out, where just they know where military and people they can trust can be in there, like safe zones, It's just the way it has to be, because when it gets that bad, it's all about survival. Just like your house, if things get bad, are you gonna have your door open? Let hey everyone come inside? Hell no, you're gonna want to have your own little safe zone, but only those people that that are cool are in there. Same thing, so that's why these militaries and these teams, they're gonna have little safe zones, because you can't just have everybody all in the same place. Everybody will take each other out. See? So you have to have people that you can trust and stuff like that. You're gonna have these little zones, because in war you can't just fight. You can't just fight 10 days straight. You know what I mean? You have to have little breaks where people are covering you. All right, let me take a little nap. All right, let me regroup. Let me eat real quick. And all right, you cover me. All right, now my turn. Because you can't just go nonstop. See, but that's how it's gonna be out here. You're gonna have little spots like where all right, let me just rest for 20 minutes real quick. A little power nap. All right, well, cover me. All right, it's gonna be like that. Second Esdras chapter 15 verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed. Because people are gonna go house to house. The movies to go watch is that movie The Road, that movie Bushwick. All right, The Purge. It's a nice, the first one. That was very good, because that's how it's gonna be out here. You're gonna have people literally like scared. Then remember you had family members, because family members, they had to join up. Like, all right, remember I think they had like their grandma, even their auntie helping out, because you're gonna have everybody helping you. Those of you that are teamed up, people are gonna have to team up, because that's how it's gonna be that bad out here. That you're gonna have to team up. It's just the way it is. And houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So how much more women and children? So men are gonna be freaking crying and scared, because that's how it is. Once you start seeing people getting brutally murdered in front of you, brutally murdered in front of you, you're gonna be afraid. You're not gonna want to leave that fucking. Let's say you're like in a little spot, like in an alley behind a trash can or wherever. You're not gonna want to leave that spot, because you're like, man, you just saw how that one person got killed in front of you. Because you're like, shit, if I leave, what if that person catches me? See, so some people are gonna be so scared, they're like, shit, they're not even gonna want to leave that spot, their post. They're like, shit, I don't want to go out there. It's gonna be that bad. Second Esdras chapter 15 verse 19. A man, check this out. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Right. So that's how this is that breakdown, that your neighbor is gonna be your worst enemy, because they know everything that you have. Because and a lot of neighbors talk like, yeah, I got this, I got that, I got I'm ready for civil war. I got my generator, I got my dry meats, I got my water. So people are gonna know. All right, we're going to fucking Steven's house. People that because that's all they're gonna know. Because when it's time of survival, you go with your options. Okay, the grocery stores are sacked. Okay, fuck, we can't go there. What's next? 7-Elevens. All right, there's nothing there. All right, what do you got in the house, honey? All right, we got 2 days worth of food. All right, what else can we go? Where else do we go? Because you just think about your options. Survive. Okay, where else do we know? Who do we know? Steven, boom. Steven might have a whole nother, like, hey, step off my, Steven might not be a whole different person, because, when seeing people die and all that, people change. They're not going to be, oh, hi, neighbor. Oh, yeah, come on in, you guys. No, they're going to be like, no, hey, they're going to be like, take one step on my lawn and I'm going to shoot you, because people are going to be very selfish too, because they're like, no, this is for me and my family, But yeah, are certain neighbors going to, join forces? Yes. But a lot of neighbors are going to take each other out, because they're like, nah, fuck, I need this for myself. See? It's going to be, it's all about survival. It's a whole different ball game. But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. See? Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Because that's how bad it's going to be out here. You know what? Let me try to find that scripture real quick for you guys. Let's see what we got here. Bear with me, Salakia. Let me get this. Okay, right here. Here we go. Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 22. See, because 16 is on point too. That's another. We can go into that. There's a lot. There's a lot of meat in Second Esdras 15 and 16. All right, check this out. Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. Many. So it doesn't say, oh, just a little bit. You guys are gonna starve out. A lot of people are gonna die of starvation. See that? So meaning the Lord's gonna get you, or these elites are gonna get you. It's just the way it is. So that's why the Lord's saying that famine's very real. I'm telling you, I've been getting that a lot in the spirit lately. It's very real. People can laugh all they want right now. It's because you have full bellies. You got lattes and cappuccinos. You guys got snacks. But wait till you guys don't have snacks. Your attitude is gonna change like day and night. See that? You're gonna stop being a smart ass real fast. When your stomach reaches your back, we're gonna see if you're still a smart ass in that day. And the other that escaped the hunger, the sword shall destroy. Because the militaries, people try and survive. There you have it. On these perilous times that are coming. We are entering serious times. But remember, the Lord's gonna deliver His elect. But this is just to just remind you that these times are approaching. It's not gonna go away. Like, I heard about it, but it's not gonna happen no more. It's going to happen. It ain't going nowhere. All right, it's not to fear among you and be all, it's just to warn you. What you do with it is entirely on you. So with that, on your feet, soldiers, stay prayed up, keep the faith. Shalom.